Hi, I'm Starla,
I'm Gino.
and we are the founders of Distance to Empty. So now that the season's over, we have had some time to reflect and pull ourselves together after a pretty awesome first season. Do you want to kind of take it from here? And
Yeah, sure. So, we started Distance to Empty as an experiment. The idea was to try to give back to a community that has given us a lot over the course of our lifetimes and her professional career. And we didn't know what was going to come of it. And we started this application process and selected some super rad humans, and then all hell broke loose with her health. And I told all of the riders in the program, sorry, but we'll be back in touch at some point in the future. Turns out, though, that over the course of the 2022 season, we just had no idea how big of an impact the people in the program would have on us, and how big of an impact the program would have on the riders that were participating. I think we probably cried at every race. We cried during the application process. And we also laughed a lot and shared a lot of struggles and triumphs. And it's been amazing. And so now, like Starlo said, we have some time to sit down and just share with everybody what has gone on this year, maybe some hints about what's coming for 2023. And then we also shot a video with three of our riders at the end of the rad. And you'll have to excuse some of the wind noise. I forgot this. And so you do get some wind. And you get what you pay for with this audio engineer. But Star, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's going to happen in 2023 that we can talk about?
well, we are going to be bringing back three of our riders. Unfortunately, one of them has moved out of state. We're sorry, we're sad, we miss her. But we're going to be bringing back three of our riders. One, because we want to give them the full season that we intended in the first place. And since this year was off to a rocky start, we feel like we kind of cut it a little bit short and weren't able to provide the full experience that we wanted. And also, we just want them back because they were absolute rock stars, and they showed up for for each other, for the program, and for themselves. And we just really want to give them another crack at it and see what they can do next year. So in addition to our three returning riders, we're also going to be opening up our application again, and we're going to be bringing on four new riders. So if you're watching this video, that means that the applications are live. So in the link, wherever it's going to be, I'm one of those like YouTubers up there, over here, down here. No, anyway, go ahead and click it and apply. If you have any questions about do you qualify, apply anyways. I think it's a great opportunity for Colorado-based women, and don't be afraid. Just go ahead and apply.
Yeah, I think that is really, and you'll see in just a minute the video with three of our riders, with Kate and Hannah and Layla, and we asked them about their experience, and the thing that shines through is they're going to encourage you to apply and face your imposter syndrome. And same here. We want to see your applications. We want to hear your stories. So get after it.
Yeah. And sneak peek, we had some amazing race partners on board this last season, and they are all coming back. In addition, we have a couple other super exciting race promoters that have decided to join us, and so we have a full season of racing. And we also have a bunch of new sponsors on board that are going to be providing some awesome equipment and other things and opportunities, and that's all I can say.
Yeah. So get those applications in and get ready to do hard and challenge yourselves.
Bleep.
Changed my life. I went from being a casual cyclist, getting out a couple times a year to ride the local trails on my mountain bike, to riding 270 plus miles of events, plus training, plus thinking about dietary needs while training, to having confidence in myself to do hard stuff. Um, I've got the support of my kids. Mommy, are you going riding today? Um, to being able to take it to my classroom and say, look, I'm a plus size athlete and I can do hard things. What can you do? That's hard because you can do hard things too.
I think that the biggest impact that my first season of Gravel has had on me is that I feel like I found a really good community of like really cool women to be a part of. I'm still like pretty new to Colorado, been here just over a year, and honestly, like all the cool people that I hang out with these days are like women that ride bikes, and that's been really cool to just like push each other and find people that do what you like to do. And, yeah.
So this is like my first real introduction into gravel racing and stuff like that, or even like gravel. And like I would ride on gravel roads as a kid, and I would ride like a gravel trail, like in Missouri and whatnot. But here it was completely different. I think it's made me more confident. It's definitely made me stronger, and it's made me feel like part of a community.
No, but it reaffirmed things that I already did know that I was starting to lose faith in. I've always known that I can do whatever the heck I want. I joined a men's rugby team my senior year in high school, and like, because somebody said, you're not going to do it. So I've known that I can do hard things. I spent my first night in the woods when I was 13 by myself. I can do hard things, but after years of giving myself to other people as a mother and a wife and a teacher, I was starting to lose that faith in myself because I wasn't pushing myself and giving myself opportunities to do those hard things. So, re-engaging with myself and the way and things that I've known about myself reaffirms my power as an individual, as a woman, as an athlete.
I think my wall is way further than I thought it was. I thought I was gonna cry yesterday on this race, and I was like, oh, it was fine. So I think I need to, I don't know, either ride harder or like push to find that wall a little bit more.
That I can go much farther than my mind tells me I can. Because a lot of times my mind will tell me to quit like very early on. But then I just like, I would, before I guess I would listen to that, and now I will keep going. And I'm really proud of myself for that. And I've learned that I'm stronger than I think I am. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Lowest point of the season was Wild Horse Gravel, when that was the very first race that we completed, because the first one was officially canceled, even though we made a very strong ride out of it, and I still count it as an event. But Wild Horse Gravel, I ran out of water because I was still learning water management and food management, and I ran out of water about 10 miles into a 30-mile ride and walked 5 miles up a slope that included a 26% grade, and I was thirsty and hot and dehydrated, and my back was cramping, and I screamed out a cuss word at the bottom of the hill when I saw that the aid station was at the very tippy top of this massive climb. But I took literally, it's like sometimes it was 2 steps. I was like, let me make it to that rock. Okay, let me make it to the next rock. And at that point, everybody was riding their bike or walking their bike. And I I was the tail end caboose of the short course, and the people who were coming through from the long course were walking their bikes. And they were walking faster than I was, but, you know, we were all in that misery together.
Probably that first race at Wild Horse. I thought that Cotuit was gonna be. I signed up for like the 30 miler at Cotuit, and then I was like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna do the 68 at Wild Horse, and I just like never ridden more than 40 or 50 miles before in Colorado, and getting to that last aid station, they were like, oh, there's like 3 people behind you. I was like dead last, and it was just downhill from there, but it's still really, it was like scary downhill, and I was like, oh, what did I get myself into? Like, should I really be here doing this? And it was kind of scary, but then like getting through that was really awesome.
Yeah. So it was kind of getting through it. Was that like the answer that yes, it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do?
It was kind of just like, oh, I can like do more than I thought I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for a second, I was like, oh man, this like sucks.
So how did you overcome that?
There's 2.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So Ned was real low with the crash and the concussion and everything, and not being able to finish that, and that made me really sad. But I was able to overcome it because I kept, you know, well, 1, I'm gonna go back to Switzerland Trail because that I'm angry, but 2, because I don't know, I didn't stop. Like Crooked Gravel was like 2 weeks later, but I did that, and I thought that was like, I was really proud of myself for that. And the second low, so that's how I overcame that. The second lowest point was yesterday when I missed the cutoff, and I just bawled. Like I was crying for like about 10 miles after that on the bike, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep going. It's fine. They're like, you can get a ride back, or you can keep going. I was like, let me just keep going. Let's see how far I can go. And I ended up going another 32 miles after that, so I was really proud of myself. So that's how I overcame that. I just got on the bike and just kept going. I was like, this is, I mean, I'm already here, might as well. But yeah.
And so from where you yesterday, how you felt about it to today, how do you feel? Because I know you were super bummed yesterday not being able to finish.
Yeah.
But now that you've had a little time to sit on that, how do you feel?
So this morning I woke up crying again because I was still upset. But at the same time, I was really, really, really proud of myself because, again, that's the longest I've ever ridden. And I kind of did like, I didn't know if I was going to make it. I was like, I'm going to make it to the finish. That's my only goal, hopefully. But like, and, you know, I didn't, but it's fine. Because, again, I still did the longest distance I've ever done, and I'm really proud of that. And so I have like very mixed feelings about it. This really makes me want to try to do a century here in like maybe a week or 2. We'll see. But yeah, mixed feelings for sure.
It's an interesting question coming off UCI Worlds in Italy, because I think that they're turning it into something that it's not, based on my experiences. My experience has been inclusive, joyful, fun. I've gotten so many compliments on my rainbow socks from professional athletes. And you know, just being able to cheer people on. The LGBTQIA communities, the BIPOC communities are having growing representation, and I think that that's huge because for me, I didn't realize that I could still be an athlete and be over 300 pounds and be a big person. And so for me, seeing other people, Kaylee Kornhauser and Marley Blonsky, as large-bodied athletes in their Shimano film All Bodies on Bikes, that representation gave me the push to say, I can do hard things. I can do this too. I can still be an athlete after years of playing sports as a kid. And so instead of just understanding from a teacher's perspective, I taught about representation. People need to see girls in STEM and, LGBTQ people in politics. And I was giving lip surface to it. Now I understand how much that representation matters to all people, because when you see somebody like you can see yourself doing it.
Yeah, I think that Gravel has been, again, like a really sweet community to be a part of. I love the push for like women in this community specifically, and also like the work that like Kids on Their Team is doing, ABOB, just like a lot of push for inclusivity and like not racing to win, but like racing for the distance, racing just like to have fun and to like be a part of something big.
Apply. You don't know what you can do until you try it.
I would say even if you haven't done this before, you should apply because I haven't done this before. I literally started riding bikes like a year ago today. And so, like riding on dirt a year ago today. And so, even if you don't know what you're doing and don't have a bike, like apply anyway and it'll do cool things.
Get out of your head a little bit. I think I was in my head a lot in the beginning. And I was very intimidated by all of it. I had severe like imposter syndrome. I was like, I was a little overwhelmed, but extremely excited. And I was really, really in my head, and I would beat myself up if I didn't like, because I didn't have like the best season.
The first one was canceled. The legs wouldn't work on the second one. Third one I crashed. So it was just a lot. And I got in my head a lot because of that. But just to like have fun, because it is fun. And it's like, I mean, I've made some like Hannah and Amy and Kate and you all, like, you guys are good friends, and I'm grateful to get to know you, and like to have you as mentors and whatnot. But yeah, just have fun with it.
With gusto.
Can you kind of give us a count?
You're like,
Let's go,
I
Bennett.
forgot how to count. Okay, right? 1, 2, 3.
what is your distance to empty?
Okay. And
Join us in 2023.
Okay.
I have to say, like, the unison there is alarming.
Yay, team!
Okay. So join us in 2023, right?
Yep.
You get that?
Yep.
We're welcoming you back in 2023.
What?
Full season.
Full season.
All the race
You
promoters are
guys
on board.
are all coming back in 2023.
Eliel's back
Oh,
on board.
Right? All of our race promoters were so touched by your experience and the impact that the program has had on you. All of our sponsors and all of our race promoters are bringing you guys all back as ambassadors to join the 4 new riders.
That's exciting.